Ladies and gentlemen, is it finally happening, right? Is Bitcoin finally breaking this macro structure? Is it finally ending the 236-day consolidation, the longest ever consolidation it has seen, the entire price history of Bitcoin? Is it over? Have we moved upwards? Have we confirmed the next macro move? Well, unfortunately, no. Although it is not confirmed, it is looking likely. So it's not a blanket no, it's not a bearish thing. I'm not saying we're going to see a massive trap here. I'm saying it's not confirmed yet. I'm saying that for people who are conservative, for people who want confirmation, for people who seek macro confirmation in order to make macro decisions, it's not actually confirmed yet. It's not confirmed on a weekly chart basis yet, which is the basis we should be looking at. I'll explain that today. And it's also not confirmed even on a short-term basis. I'll tell you exactly why today. Bitcoin, unfortunately, is in some sort of bearish exhaustion pattern at the moment. Even though the price is very high, it is a little bit of an illusion. And there is a chance, unfortunately, still that we could roll over. Now, I'm not saying it's likely. I'm just saying that in order to see full confirmation, there's a couple of things we need to see here. We need to see at least one of them, in my view. So we'll look into all of that today. We'll also look into Ethereum, the total 3, and we'll look into the DXY as well. The DXY is at a very, very important point, right? It's a big threat to the cryptocurrency market right now, the DXY. If it breaks upwards, that could be very concerning. Now, it hasn't done it yet, but it's literally at the crossroad. It's at the decision point. You can see it there on the weekly chart RSI. There it is. It's right on top of that level. Very important stuff going on around the board here in the market. It's going to be an extremely important week. And I know people say that over and over again, week after week after week. But I don't know what to tell you. It's just true. And it's provably true. The weekly candle itself is very important. Before we get into it today, guys, Bitfinex and Blowfin are the two exchanges that I personally advertise on this YouTube channel with my referral links down below. You can click them. They're in the description and pinned comment. Click those links, sign up with those links, and you'll get access to a 15% trading fee discount on Bitfinex, as well as 5,500 USDT in rewards, and a varied rake back percentage on Blowfin, as well as up to 5,000 in rewards as well. My preferred exchange, the exchange I use, is Bitfinex, but Blowfin is an alternative option for people who don't like Bitfinex for some reason, or maybe there are some small, geographical restrictions with Bitfinex for the US, where you use a VPN. But these are both broadly non-KYC exchanges. They've both never been hacked before. They've both got hundreds of trading pairs. And with my links down below, you can get excellent deals on fees. So check them out down below. Use my links. I appreciate it. Let's get into the content. Recapping the boring stuff first, and it's not boring, it's actually literally the most crucial stuff, but it's just been said before a few times in this channel, so a few people would have heard it a few times by now. I apologize for that. We'll get into a new thing as well. That's the golden cross we've seen in the daily chart. I should have mentioned that in the introduction, actually, but we'll get into that in a second here. The most important thing, without a doubt, that people should be looking at right now is the Bitcoin weekly chart. Why is that? Well, it's because, first of all, a 236-day consolidation pattern is not going to be broken on a daily candle. Okay, you're going to need at least weekly confirmation, just basic logic there. But second of all, we can actually prove that from a TA perspective. We know for a fact we know the 69K all-time high from 2021 is a weekly chart resistance. On two separate occasions, in fact, pretty much three separate occasions here, we have closed right on top and rejected from the 2021 all-time high, literally right on top of that exact level. On the very candle that we reached our all-time high, we did it, and on last week's candle, we did it as well. 2 weeks in a row, actually. We rejected from that 69K level. 69K exactly, the exact 2021 all-time high, is the critical breakout point. It is layered on top of the channel formation. In order for the channel formation to be definitively broken and the all-time high to be definitively broken, it is very clear that we need to be seeing a weekly candle close above it. So 5 days until the weekly close, we need that weekly candle close. The question is waiting 5 days too risky from a percentage return perspective? Perhaps in 5 days we'll be much higher. Perhaps in 5 days we'll be up here at 76K. I'm not saying we're going to do that. I'm just saying that's the questions people ask. When people sit here and they watch this YouTube video and I say in 5 days we'll have the confirmation, they think, well, what about the next 5 days? What if the market skyrockets and I get left behind? Well, there is another way you can look for confirmation in my view, and this is getting a little bit nuanced, and obviously when you're looking into shorter term charts, when you actually do realistically need longer term confirmation, you do have there's a decent probability you're going to be wrong, you're going to be scammed, but if you do want to try and front run this move, I wouldn't even be doing it here either. I would actually be waiting for this pink line on the screen to break. Now, why is that? Let me explain it to you very clearly here. On the move, that was a fake out. On the move, on the very weekly candle close back here 2 weeks ago, when we rejected from this level at 69K, the critical breakout point, within that weekly candle, literally hours before the weekly candle closed below that level, what do we do on the short term? Well, we went above 69K. We faked out above 69K and the top of the channel for the first time in the entire history of the channel, 236 days, and we rejected from a critical resistance line, diagonal resistance line, which I am calling, and I have called it, and I predicted that, by the way. You can go back and watch the content back here. I predicted this fake out. I'm calling it the fake out line, okay? I call it the fake out line for a reason, because it led to a fake out. A fake out, the biggest fake out we've seen, the first fake out we've seen above that channel, above 69K, that led to a weekly chart rejection. And given the fact that this fake out line has led to a fake out before, the fact that we're coming right up to it right now, retesting it, and, you know, in the short term, rejecting from it, seeing some preliminary signs of exhaustion, by the way. You know, you look at the hourly chart RSI, you see bearish divergence forming. You look at the, yep, there it is, bearish divergence. You look at the volume. We can bring up a few things here. Volume's descending in the upwards trend. There's the green volume bars descending. The highs are going downwards as the price moves upwards. There's various signs here. RSI is in an unsustainable uptrend as well on the lows. So we could see a breakdown of that RSI, retracement back on the price chart, back to 69K, or back to the bottom of these channels as a whole. It's a bit of a messy chart here. Just give me a moment. Back to the yellow lines here, which form, you know, either the wedge of a channel, depending on how you're looking at it. We could see some sort of retracement here. You know, this could be a bit of a trap. It's possible. It's especially possible as long as we maintain you know, the price being below this fake out line, because if we are below this fake out line, we can identify structure, right? The structure is either an ascending channel formation, right? Using this fake out line as the resistance and the bottom support zones right here I'm circling, or it's a ascending wedge formation. Regardless of what it is, they're both bearish patterns of exhaustion. So until Bitcoin goes ahead and breaks this fake out line and hence invalidates the pattern of exhaustion, in my view, this breakout cannot be trusted. So if Bitcoin goes ahead on short term and breaks above the fake out line, the line in pink, which would only mean Bitcoin needs to break above something like 71.7K at the moment. Now it is ascending, so that will change. And it will change quite rapidly, by the way. But if Bitcoin can do that, it flips that level, continues going upwards, cool, awesome, sick. You know, we've seen a breakout. It's likely at that point, not certain, but it's likely at that point that Bitcoin will continue to the upside. But at the end of the day, if you want full confirmation, and I will stand by this, it's not certain, but if you want full confirmation, you will need to see, in my view, that weekly candle close in 5 days above the 69K level. You got to ask yourself the question, you know, if Bitcoin does go ahead and break this fake out line, do you really want to risk front running it? Do you really want to risk being in a trap and buying at a very high place before breaking down? You know, that's the question you got to ask. You know, the way I see it is, you know, even if we saw a breakdown here, even if we saw a rejection here, which is what the short-term TA kind of does suggest, it wouldn't be the end of the world because we would have a chance to go down resistance support flip and then bounce again. Or even if we broke down as a whole, we go down to 65K, maybe 63K, still maintain higher lows. It would be a pretty decent scenario either way. So I'm not macro bearish on Bitcoin at all. I'm just saying there are some complications here. It's not as easy as saying, oh, look, we've broken out of a channel. We're all good. That's a bit of an oversimplified view. I don't really think we've seen the adequate confirmation at this point in time. But good stuff around the board. Another thing we saw for the first time in over a year, and we'll discuss this more extensively tomorrow. I don't want to drag this video out too long. I want to keep it directly targeted to that breakout, actually. But a golden cross. We're going to discuss this tomorrow. It's where the 200 MA crosses underneath the 50 MA. Last time it happened was back here in October 2023, and it led to, guess what, this massive move right here. Now, it's hard to say the golden cross caused that move because golden crosses and death crosses they're very prone to fake out. But historically speaking, they're pretty good. And as you can see, you know, just going off that fake out point, I mean, we saw a death cross right here. We didn't break down below the entire channel. So it's not like this golden cross is the, you know, the God-given sign to buy and everything's going to go up from here. But it certainly is a bullish indicator. It certainly does have a success rate of, let's say, I don't know, 65, 70%. So it's definitely a good sign to see a golden cross, especially while Bitcoin manages to break out of this channel, at least preliminary, at least in an unconfirmed breakout. It's certainly a good sign. We'll discuss the historical accuracy of golden crosses tomorrow a bit. we'll move past that for now, just to keep this video a bit direct and targeted. Other charts we can look at are Ethereum, Total 3, and the DXY, and they kind of support our theory on Bitcoin not being in a fully confirmed breakout yet, unfortunately. Ethereum, doing well, doing very well, bouncing off support, but not above the critical red level yet, or the yellow resistance line. Same thing with the Total 3, doing very well, bouncing on support, higher lows, upwards trend, not breaking above the neckline of resistance here. So just being in good structures, but not quite breaking out, which is kind of a name of the game here for the entire cryptocurrency market, except for Bitcoin, which is in an unconfirmed breakout. And the DXY, as I said before, a chart that is a threat to Bitcoin, a chart that is reverse correlated to Bitcoin, that has bounced off of a 2015 support zone, from 9 years ago, and it's in this bounce, and this bounce could very well break the crypto market. It needs to stop. It needs to stop, and it's got a chance to stop here on this weekly chart RSI resistance. If that fails, it will have a chance to stop there. If this breaks highs, it's going to be very dodgy territory for cryptocurrency. Luckily, that is the unlikely scenario in my view. I think this chart will roll over, and that's because of my macro bullish stance on Bitcoin. I'm projecting that onto the DXY, but this is something we'll need to watch very, very closely over the coming days for sure. In tomorrow's video, as I said, I'll update you on the golden cross. I'll give you a detailed analysis on that, and hopefully we'll have an update as well on Bitcoin, whether it's rejected by that point and heading down to support, or whether it's actually broken up. If it's broken up, that'll be a very interesting scenario, and I'll have a very interesting video for you there. So guys, thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Literally go down to the comments and comment anything, an emoji, anything. Just helps the algorithm. Literally takes 1 second. I really appreciate that. Anything you want, criticism, praise, I appreciate it. Check out the exchanges, guys, Bitfinex and Blowfin. The links are down below. You click on those links, you sign up, takes 15 seconds, global non-KYC, hundreds of trading pairs, very low trading fees, lower trading fees with my discount, which is on the link. It will be applied to your account immediately and for life on Bitfinex. So check that out if you're interested. And the last thing I will mention is my VIP group on Telegram. I post 4 trading signals per week, okay? I post them in video format. They've got a 78.32% win rate, over 170 data points over 2 years, okay? So very good track record there, all transparent. You can see it all. I don't hide anything. I'm very proud of it. And you're also getting access to a group chat there as well. So guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you soon.